Basketball.
It's time to strap in and get ready. The Insight NBA team is in the arena, bringing you the ultimate play-by-play on who's hot and who's not to help you win your leagues and dominate your mates. You're now hooping with your hosts, Matty G, Skitty, and Mally for the Insight NBA show.
G'day everyone and welcome to the Insight NBA Fantasy Show. I'm your host, Matty G. Welcome to what is week 21 or week matchup 20, wherever you are. Either way, it is the week that is beginning the 17th of March and concluding on the 23rd of March, or as Mama G likes to say, oh, you mean the week after my birthday? And indeed it is, and I have some probably more bad news than good news for this week, because take a look at this one. It starts off with 10. It hits 11 on Wednesday. It hits 10 on Friday. And it's going to be going hammer and tongs for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. If you're watching, if you're listening, 10 games Monday, 4 games Tuesday, 11 games Wednesday, 5 games Thursday, 10 games Friday. Saturday and Sunday are 8 and 5 games. So the first thing to say is this. There's like the number one question, like I generally get, is like, which back-to-backs do you want to get? Oh, Matty, like, what's the best back-to-backs? It's tough out here on these streets this week. We'll get down to the back-to-backs a little bit later on, as we always do. But it is tough just to say, well, look, these are the teams that are best. But there's no team that's on 5 games this week, like last week there was. The Nets, they're back this week. They've got a good schedule again. Lo and behold, we can use them for 3 games this week. But there is a red herring. There are 2 teams with 2 games. So let's take a load at this one. These are the 4-game teams. We've got Charlotte, the Bulls, the Cavs, the Nuggets, the Pistons, the Warriors, the Rockets, Pacers, Lakers, and the Heat. We've also got the Pels, the Knicks, the 76ers, the Trailblazers, Sacramento Kings, San Antonio Spurs, Utah Jazz, and the Washington Wizards. They are all on 4 games this week. Now, there are a bunch of teams that are on 3 games. There are 10. It's Atlanta, Boston, Brooklyn, like I said, the Clippers, the Grizz, the Bucks, the Timberwolves, the Thunder, Suns, and Raptors. So there are more teams on that. There are 18 teams on 4 games. It's a really even playing field in that way, for a matter of respect. The bad news is, if you are a Mavericks or a Magic fan, or if you are heavily divested in stock like that, one, for example, if you had Kyrie Irving or Anthony Davis in IR, and hoping, just this would be, though, the week for him to be like, oh, the adductor strain, it's fantastic. Like, look, he's healed. He's been doing some light on-court work. We're going to bring, this would be the perfect week for AD to play 2 games. And be like, you know what, guys? Yeah, it's not working out. We're just going to shut him down for the rest of the season. This would be great for him just to pop up magically and play. It's not going to be the case, but there are 2 games. And if you do have him on IR, maybe this is a week that he pops back up with only like 3 or 4 weeks left of the regular season. Maybe. Because you get him back out here for a 2-game week. You give the fans a little bit of a taste. And then he goes away. It could be the case, but it's not. But if you're heavily banked it in like Franz Wagner stock, Paolo Banchero stock, Klay Thompson stock, these are the guys. You're going to have to cut your fringe guys from these teams. I picked up Cole Anthony last week. Looked like it was going to be a good move. Then he misses 2 games with a toe. He'll be one of the dudes that I drop off at the car park really simply this week, because the bad news as well, they also play on these high volume games that we've got in here. So they do play one of the games on the 10-game Friday, generally speaking. So straight away, it's like, look, maybe not the best option. Maybe they're a sick candidate to start with. So this is where we get down to that, because the 3 games, as we said, the Hawks, Celts, Nets, Clippers, Grizzlies, Bucks, Timberwolves, Thunder, Suns, and the Raptors. And then we go into the Mavs and that one. So go into those back-to-back set right here. The back-to-backs, if we want to start it off strong and finish our current week, and you're still listening to this before the games kick off, but it's an early one. In Australia, it's like a 4 a.m. start. My lordy lord. These games you can still get some burnout of. You got the Lakers, the T-Wolves, the 76ers, the Suns, Trailblazers and Jazz. Pick up some of these guys. I know people are hitting the waiver wire really hard for guys like Donovan Clingan right now. Boner is out. Yabusele gets picked up. For the Lakers, we know for 100% that LeBron's not playing this game now after possibly going to be playing against Phoenix. So we're getting in like maybe Dorian Finney-Smith, who was out last game, and these guys around the fringes. Raptors, I know Castleton has been picked up for the last game and for the previous. So the Utah Jazz guys, are we getting the Filipowskis of the world? Are we pulling these guys in? Bearing in mind that we do play the next day on the Monday. And if your roster is going to be loaded, you're bringing up one from IR, you're dropping your worst player off to make advantage of that one. Because the next day, then you can roll into these ones. Monday and Tuesday, into that low volume game Tuesday, you've got the Warriors. On the Tuesday and Wednesday there, then that's where we've got the Cavaliers. Again, the Wednesday, though, is an 11-game day. So the best of you're making sure that the person, if you do pick up a Cav, one of these fringy guys, obviously, I guess the best guy there for all intents and purposes is Ty Jerome on your waiver wire, is what you're looking for, what Ty Jerome's going to give you. If not, you're probably best to target the Monday and Tuesday with one of the Warriors guys, maybe a single game stream if you need it on the Wednesday, or play through if you need to. So you drop off that Monday, Tuesday ad, you bring in the Wednesday game for one game, and then you're looking for a Thursday, Friday back-to-back set, or Wednesday, Thursday again. So after this one, you could hit up the Bulls, the Pacers, the Lakers, Knicks, and the Kings. So you've got these guys Wednesday, Thursday. Again, the Wednesday is the 11-game day. So we see what we can get here, and if not, it's, again, definitely dropping the worst guy to bring in the best. Keon Ellis is a nice play when we talk about these guys around here. Deep guys for the Lakers is Gabe Vincent, Dorian Finney-Smith, Dalton Connect on the wire for you. Thursday, Friday. Thursday's great. Of course it's great. There's 5 games. But then we back it up into the Friday game of 10. So this is where guys like, Nick Smith Jr. for the Hornets, 100% we're looking at guys like that. Josh Green, Damian Bow. We know for a fact as well that Mark Williams is not going to play in the back-to-back set. So we're looking to bring in a big from the Hornets here. And then what we're doing is we're going into a really easy Saturday, Sunday back-to-back set here. So after that Friday, Saturday, you've got the Washington Wizards players. They're good for a game there because the Saturday, especially if your worst guy is getting dropped off and you can pick them up there, this is where we start to look for some of these Washington Wizards guys to make a bit of an impact for us. Guys like maybe Champagne. I know that he missed the last game, but Corey Kispert, he had a sprained thumb. He didn't return. We know Bilal Coulibaly is out for the rest of it. We know Marcus Smart, Chris Middleton have been tossed up and picked up and here, left, right, and center here and there. So we've got these kind of guys that we can pay attention to for that Friday, Saturday burner for the Wizards. Saturday, Sunday, on the 5 games and 8 games, it's almost the best one, and that's the Atlanta Hawks. So guys like Niang here, Guerre, these guys, or I like to call him the cheese, because he just sounds like, every time I think about it, I think Guerre. I don't know why. I just think about that for Big Muhammad. But maybe this is the guys we're looking for. We know Clint Capella's been missing time. He's out for personal reasons on Sunday. So this is where we could start to change and have a look at that for the coming week ahead. And then if we're looking to lock up our win and then tactfully get into the next week, if we are in our finals, and we definitely want to be hitting that waiver wire hard, Sunday and Monday next week, we've got the Celtics, the Nuggets, the Pelicans, the 76ers, and the Raptors. Now, there are a few little schedule notes for this one as well. So for schedule notes this week, we've got Brooklyn, Golden State, and Milwaukee. Now, they all play on 3 low-volume game days, which means you can get them on the Thursday, the Tuesday, the Thursday, and the Saturday. So you've covered up straight away. If you add one of the guys from these teams, you do not have to worry about cutting or starting. Now, you're not going to get them on the Wednesday or the Friday. Don't worry about it. But you're getting the Tuesday, you're getting the Thursday, and you're getting the Saturday. That's from a Brooklyn Nets player, a Golden State Warrior, a Milwaukee Buck. Charlotte plays on Tuesday and Thursday. Now, that's not bad for those low-volume game days. Maybe this is where Nick Smith and Joshy Green come more into your play. Now, Chicago, Indiana, the Lakers, the Knicks, and Sacramento, they all play on those low-volume days at the back of the week. So these are teams that we can target. We're basically like playing like hamburger, like bun and bottom, like bun and butt. And like the meat in the middle are these juicy days of games of 10, 11, and 10. So we're looking to basically hamburger Tuesday and Thursday, Thursday and Saturday, and working around that way. Again, Sunday and Tuesday, if we are looking to like that really like aggressive strategy, like, oh, what team can I get for? I know I've got my best guy on Monday. Going to get my last win of the week on the Sunday. Don't worry about the Monday. Hit the Tuesday. So like just put the meat in the bun of the streaming burger this week, because that's what's going to get us a win, because it's really hard to target these back-to-backs and make sense of it. If we'd won, for a start, injuries running rampant. My Cole Anthony from last week, perfect example. Jalen Suggs out for the rest of the year. Next man up mentality. He's been playing well in the starting unit. He comes in, doesn't play well, limited minutes, misses the next. I burn a pick on him for the week. They've got a good schedule. He misses the next 2 games and is questionable for the next one. Damn it. Cole Anthony. And then he's got 2 games this week. So I expected to use Cole last week, make the most of that. I was looking to target free throw percentage, especially getting some extra points and threes, some assists dabbled in there. And that's the perfect guy for me that was going to do it. And then he goes. I also, funnily enough, picked up fuckface Plumlee. I'm just going to, the man doesn't know how to stay in a basketball game. Mason, my Jesus, let's just get ejected for 2 games and just do that. Let's just go in and play a few minutes and then bugger off with 65% of it completed. My Lord. I mean, I was in an absolute state last week stream-wise. You couldn't write about. Apart from the week before, I picked up Pods and TJ McConnell, and both of them ended up going out injured after playing a combined 1 minute and 3 seconds. It's crazy. So this is why we say we can't stream these back-to-backs, went over them, because something's invariably going to happen. We call it silly season for a reason. So by knowing the back-to-backs and being able to just loosely target that as our strategy, we're not heavily investing on like, I've got to get this back-to-back. I've got to get this back-to-back. Because windows can open with injuries like that. So let's just be really good with that this week and pay attention to those back-to-backs as they come to us. The best schedule in the NBA this week belongs to the Pistons. They've got a really good schedule. Cunningham, Duran, all these boys, Malik Beasley, those guys, they're going to be great. They're going to just be adding up there. They've got 2 games against the Pelicans. Funnily enough, the Pelicans have a really rough game. Not only do they have those guys, they've also got a whole bunch of guys. They've got the Timberwolves as well. They played them twice. So they've got the Timberwolves twice and they've got the Pelicans twice this week. That's really tough for those guys. So for me, they are the hardest game of the week for me to make any sense out of, headways and tails. And again, this is where those guys like we had bringing in the back-to-backs, like guys like Jose Alvarado and these fringy guys like Kelly Olynyk and these Bruce Brown, like just these guys from the Pelicans getting minutes. Big K, Special K, they've been getting minutes for us lately, but we know they're going to have a bit of a rough old time out there this week. But that also means we can pay attention if they're going to have a rough bit of time like this one. Our top guns like Zion Williamson may miss time. Trey Murphy may sit a couple of games. Now, if we accept that and we know that, we could probably just pay attention to the fringes of them just a little bit more, like the Jordan Hawkinses of the world and guys like that. So we're just looking to pay attention there. We're also looking to make sure that we take advantage of discount codes. I'm sipping on my 4-in-1 right now from Standard Squeeze. IFS 2025 is the code for this little bad boy right here. Also, their apparel, got my shirt on and my hat right now. This keeps my gin very, very cool. And it keeps my coffee very, very warm. The winter months are only weeks away. Get your hands on one of these with IFS 2025 and make sure you do hit up our merch store as well. The brand new Crown Cap, Matrix's Crown Cap is in, and our limited edition NBA fantasy wear is in the store right now. You can get your hands on that one. Follow the links down below. There's just down here over this side. There's like C products. See them, check them out, do that one. Let's take a look at the injuries around the league and see what we can do and pick up here. Yeah, look, I mentioned it before. Clint Capella was already out. So looking for Big Muhammad in there to pick it up. Karis LeVert is questionable with knee soreness. This is where Niang is also going to get a bump next week for the Atlanta Hawks if he continues to miss time. In Boston, it was good to see Kristaps Porzingis take back to the court, but not grab any rebounds when it really needed him. Just few more boards, but really good to see him against all teams. Brooklyn get back out there after being out for a lengthy absence with an illness. Al Horford and Derek White, they also didn't play due to toe injury and a knee injury, respectively. Whereas in Brooklyn, Nick Claxton and Trendon Watford, now they didn't play due to rest on the first leg of a back-to-back. Clowney has missed the last 2 games with an ankle injury after looking the goods in a 5-game week. That sucks for him. The big news was Cam Thomas. He is now expected, after playing this week, not playing the back-to-backs. We knew he wasn't playing Saturday. Apparently, it's flared up. Apparently, we've realized that we've won too many games in this tanking season, and we probably should try a little bit harder to tank. I think maybe that might be the directive of the Brooklyn Nets management. Not that I'm saying that they've gone full tank, but if you look at the standings, these guys are at 22 wins, and they've eked out a few against really good teams. The Lakers win this week stands out. Like you could have just let the Lakers take that one, guys. Being on 21, nice and easy, because that's only then 4 games up from the Charlotte Hornets. It's also then still going to get you only 3 games up from the New Orleans Pelicans, who are on 18 wins. You've got Utah on 15, New Orleans on 18, Washington on 15, Charlotte on 17, and then you've got Brooklyn on 22. And they've kind of realized that they've met up with the Philadelphia 76ers, and they're just going to shut it down really, really hard. So I'm expecting more absences for Claxton along the way, and definitely here for Cam Thomas to be out for the rest of it. Funnily enough, though, everything is good in Charlotte. And Charlotte, well, they've won their last game. They're on 17 wins. So maybe they win a few more games and Brooklyn's just trying to come in underneath of it. I have no idea what's going on. But it's crazy when you think about the games that Brooklyn has actually eked out wins for this year. In Chicago, Josh Giddey, he's been out with the last couple of games with the sprained ankle. Lonzo Ball has been out here. Trey Jones has been an absolute must-add and been on fire despite their mismosh schedule this last week. In Cleveland, Donovan Mitchell is looking to be questionable for Sunday's game against the Magic. He has had that groin soreness as well. I'm not sure he takes the court. They can absolutely afford. They are sitting pretty on 56 wins and 10 losses. That's only 49 wins. Now, it's not about the Eastern Conference place. It's about the OKC being number 1 seed for the year place. Now, this is an interesting one. OKC is on 55 wins. Cleveland's on 56. I am 100% confident that Cleveland is going for home court advantage in case they make the NBA Finals. I think he plays, but it is against Orlando, who has absolutely slid down to 31-37 on the year in the Eastern Conference. And they're only 3 games up on the Bulls for the play-in tournament. So, look, don't know if Cole Anthony rests. I think there's a chance, or he's out again. I think there's a chance that Don is just like not good to go after shoot-around. So let's pay attention to that one. Evan Mobley, he's got a foot contusion. He is also questionable. Let's just see what plays out. I'm really curiously watching that situation for the big start-off early game. I believe it's 4 a.m. on Monday morning here in Australia versus the Magic. So I'm looking forward to that one on the East Coast. Over in Dallas, Kai Jones is questionable for Sunday's game. Dante Exum has a broken bone in his hand. He could possibly be out for the rest of the season, out indefinitely. And Jaden Hardy is doubtful with an ankle injury on top of all their other injury news over there. Then again, this week we do expect an update. Furthermore, Gafford has progressed, Lively has progressed, and Anthony Davis are all expected updates in the coming week. In Denver, Aaron Gordon, he was out Saturday. He had injury management with that ankle. Looking for him to be returning this week for Denver. Detroit is smooth sailing, and they are continuing to kill it this season, whereas Brandon Podziemski has missed the last 4 games with a back strain for the Golden State Warriors. Moses Moody in his spot has been a really nice pickup on the wire. He is targeting a return Tuesday against the Bucks. Houston, Tara Eason missed the Saturday again with the injury management here. Don't expect him to be playing back-to-backs for the Rockets this season, whereas in Indiana, Johnny Furphy missed Saturday's game due to illness. In the Clippers, Norm Powell is questionable. Good returning him. I know he's been around on many waiver wires. One of my mates, Chris, just picked him up in a friends and family league. Couldn't make any more moves for the week. And if I did, I'd be going to eke out the win for the quarterfinals this one because it's really tight in that league. Now, here's a good ad, but Chris Dunn has been ruled out with knee soreness. So he was an absolute drop and pick up for anyone who is pushing or who hears this before time. In the Lakers, Now, Luka missed Friday's game against the Nuggets with calf and ankle issues. He is expected back. LeBron and Rui are going to miss Sunday, but look for them to return. Again, it's the first game of a back-to-back. So don't be surprised if we see these guys then begin the new week to start week 21 in Fantasyland. In Memphis, Ja Morant and Vince Williams missed Saturday's game with shoulder and ankles, respectively, and Santi Aldama is still out with a calf strain. Look for updates on him later this week. In Miami, Alec Burks is going to miss the next couple of games with a calf strain here, whereas in Milwaukee and Minnesota, all things are smooth sailing. In New Orleans, Zion Williamson missed Saturday due to personal reasons, maybe because of their tanking and him possibly being traded in the offseason. Again, those rumors are swirling around. And Yves Missy has missed the last 2 games with a sprained ankle. Now, in New York, Jalen Brunson was going to keep him out until the end of March, early April. That is an absolute bummer for him. For anyone who was owning him, hoping to get the playoff runs. Now, in some leagues that push through until the end of the season, this is good news because in the standings, they're currently 3rd. They are only 4 games clear of Milwaukee, and only then there is 5 games separate Detroit and them for that 6th place. So I think New York puts it to work. I think they want to make sure he is returning very, very healthy. But at the same time, that is an absolute huge blow for them. In Oklahoma City, Jalen Williams has missed the last 2 games with a strained hip. He's expected to make his return at some point in the coming week, whereas Chet Holmgren and Andrew Wiggins missed Saturday through rest and illness. Usman Jang, he was out for that one. And Lou Dort is going to be reevaluated Sunday morning before taking the court. They've got one of the early games on the day. Let's look for an update for him. Whereas on Orlando, Cole Anthony is questionable, like I said, with that toe strain against the Cavaliers. In Philadelphia, Tyrese Maxey, Lonnie Walker, Oubre, Adem Bona, who's been the absolute ad. That was really tough news to hear that he was out today. And Andre Drummond, they are all out versus the Mavs. Paul George is also getting issued. He's seeking options on his groin, and I think that's might have what he's been doing on the All-Star break. I just don't know if it's with a doctor this time or his wife again, living in the lap of luxury. But we're looking for more of an update on him if he's going to be shut down for the rest of the season later this week. In Phoenix, Grayson Allen is going to miss another game Sunday versus the Lakers, and Monte Morris for that one is questionable. In Portland, Jeremy Grant has missed the last 2 due to knee tendonitis and is doubtful, whereas Anthony Simons and Robert Williams are questionable. Jabari Walker is out as he is in concussion protocols there for the Trailblazers. Domantas Sabonis left Friday's game versus the Suns after re-aggravating that hamstring injury. So if someone dropped Val, knowing that Sabonis was coming back, we just swoop in and pick up Valanciunas straight away for that one there. And Trey Lyles, he was also out for that one, but he'll continue to provide backup minutes. De'Aaron Fox is out for the rest of the season. He's got something done on the pinky finger. Hello to your rookie of the year. Put some money on the tote for Stephon Castle in his place. Jakob Poeltl was out Friday due to rest for the Raptors. Big one there, Colin Castleton. He was on a 10-day contract. Let's just watch for some news about him because I think Castleton could be a silly season hero later this year for many owners, whereas in Utah, Jordan Clarkson, Keontae George are out Sunday. Jaden Springer is questionable, and John Collins is going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks, which means in 2 weeks we find out he's a week away, which only then puts us a week away for the rest of the season. And I don't think they care about the fines because Walker Kessler just rose to the bench the other day. They played Markkanen and Sexton, little mini minutes. And you know what? Walker, just, man, sit down. It's cool. Just sit on the sidelines. We'll just let Flip go out there. Let's just Filipowski just run riot and look, I might sub you in, I might not. It was absolute shenanigans hearing that he was in there and that he sat the entire game. That must have absolutely done so many owners' heads in. Whereas in Washington, Marcus Smart missed Saturday's game through illness. Corey Kispert had a sprained thumb, looking for an update on him. And Bilal Coulibaly obviously is out the rest of the season with a hamstring injury. That pretty much wraps us up. There are heaps of targets this week. As I said, I'm not going to give my targets out this week. I'll post them on our Instagram. Make sure you do follow us if you do not already. That is absolutely popping. We've got updates all the time. I'm looking through right now. It is Inside NBA Fantasy. That's at Inside NBA Fantasy. I will post ads through the course of the week based on injuries because how it's going right now, I'm following the back-to-backs. I'm following the hamburgers. I am really trying to take advantage of those low volume days. Again, trying to target the Tuesday, Thursday, and the Saturday games. And the teams that are going to do that for me are Brooklyn, Golden State, and the Milwaukee Bucks. Make sure you like and subscribe to all the things. Be well. Take care. We'll see you soon.